look at the state of my hands. Well, there's the scratches from the cap. And the other side. This is really, really dirty. Components are not bad, but I don't know why this. I mean, you can just see it coming off. I might just get some cotton buds and just try and clean off as much of the crap as I can while I've got it out. I actually want to do a cap kit eventually, but it's quite a small chassis really, which is good. It's quite manageable to get it out. I got the chassis out by discharging this. I'd recommend to look at a couple of videos if you fancy discharging stuff yourself. I wouldn't recommend it because it's quite dangerous, but if you want to, there's quite a few videos online. I think John's Arcade's done a few of those, so if we go around the back, shaky cam moment because it's easier. You can see chassis out now, it's just a tube, degaussing. That's the ground to the strap there, and you got the yoke cables here. That's you just undo those three, and it comes out. Oh, obviously the power, sorry, as well. But yeah, it's quite clean in here, other than the one that's a little bit tiny, a little bit dirty. But there's the danger right up there. So yeah, okay. So I'm going to probably clean my hands and get some cotton buds and try and clean this up a little bit. The fact is, a little bit damp, which is not good. But alright, I'm going to try and clean this up as much as I can. We'll come back. Okay, so I've taken the I've cleaned the front of the chassis, or the top of the chassis a little bit, not very much. I actually forgot to record soldering this in, but or before. You can see they're all sort of quite sort of grey, shiny bit of grey, but you can see the ones I've just redone. It's so easy with that soldering iron. It's cost 40 quid. I'd recommend that one all day long, or something like it. And also one of those which was £2, and one of those which was £5. It makes things so easy. So basically what I've done, so this is where the sink goes into here. J1, J2, J3, and this one here was at W103. I basically put new solder on it, sucked all the solder off each pin, reapplied brand new solder. I don't know, I couldn't see any bad sort of joints there, so I don't think this is going to fix it, but you know, it's preventative maintenance is the word I'm looking for, and the word I'm trying to say. There's a couple of resistors here that I might check, because apparently they can be a bit dodgy. What are they? In focus. Can't really see upside down. R318, R315. I need to check those as well. So let me just flip the chassis over. Okay, you can see where I've tried to clean the chassis. Just clean bits where I'm trying to fix. This stuff's pretty much caked on. I managed to get some of it off, but I'm not that bothered at the moment. When I do a full cap kit, if I do a full cap kit, which I probably will do, I think you can wash chassis and put it in the wash and then make sure everything's dried out. So yeah, I think that's the only way you're going to get some of this muck off. But anyway, you can see these are the pins I was doing. So this is where the sink goes. I think it's one of these two. There's two of them. Either those two or those two, I can't remember. And this is where the green and blue and the ground goes as well. So I've redone that one as well. Like I said, I need to check some of these resistors down here, because apparently some of the resistors were out of spec when they came out of the factory, so I'm going to double check those as well. And if they're okay, I'm going to put this back into the cab, and I don't think it's going to make a change, because I don't think there's any issue with this. I've ordered some parts from the Tinternet, so I have to wait for those to come through, but yeah, we'll have a look and I'll put this back in. Well, I turned it on, I thought I'd fixed it, but I actually haven't. The whole issue is still That's with the V-hold like sort of, you know, balanced. If I crank it all the way back to what it was, it just flickers. So back to the drawing board. Okay, I got the chassis out again because the reflowing the pins didn't make any difference, obviously. So you're gonna have to look at the transistors. Now there's a flow chart for this one now, which is lucky. It says there's a few things you should check. So you need to check for vertical. That's a cat trying again. Vertical sync not working. X306, which is this one, and X302, I think, which isn't anywhere on here, but I think it's this one. I can't see. I'm going to have to unscrew that to see if that's. I assume it's 302. That's the only other place it can be. So, so also as well, there's a chip. This one, IC501, which can be replaced as well. So it might be that, but I don't think it's that because I've got horizontal sync. That's usually when both of them are gone. So I got these replacement transistors from eBay. I think it was like £3 or something, £2 for. I've taken some out to test them. Always check the data sheets. I thought that it goes CBE, so it's collector base emitter on these, but I think it's the end one is the base. So I was testing them for ages, not thinking they were working, but I had the pin out wrong. So I'm going to take out I think it's X306, I can't remember which one it is now. Yeah, I think it's that one's the first one I've got to take out. Take it out and test it. That focuses in. And also I'll check to see if this one down here is 302, which I think it must be. I'll take both of them out and test them. Okay, so I was right. It's hidden behind this stupid bit of chassis, annoyingly. Yes, this is the X02, so I'm going to screw that. Well, might leave that unscrewed. Might be easier to access the tabs. But I've taken out. Where is it? Taken out. If it focuses. Taken out X06. Seems to measure okay. Not 100% sure about it because it's hard to measure compared to the new one. So perhaps we'll just stick the new one in. They both seem to be slightly different, but you've got the same numbers on them. So I don't know if we're able to see the text. Focuses in. Come on. Almost. Not quite. Try again. No, it's not going to focus. Oh, there we go. C1685, and same on this. Is the slightly different. It's got different numbers underneath. I think it's okay. You can see that, but yeah, anyway. So I think they're very similar, if not the same. So I'm going to remove this one, test this one. If this one's completely dead, then I'm going to put the old one back in and replace it with a new one. If they both seem okay, I'm going to replace both, see what happens. Okay, these are two transistors I'm removing from the board, and I can't really see anything wrong with them. The legs are a bit sort of corroded or something, I'm not sure. I did struggle trying to get readings off them, whereas this one, the new one, was quite easy. So I'm going to replace them with the new style ones and see how we get on. Okay, you can see where I've changed them. Actually, you can see the with the light on, you can see the flux that's come out of the solder. But if it focuses, not a bad soldering job. So that's that one there. There's one up there. So I'm going to put the chassis back in the cab. I don't expect to fix it. I've got one of these IC501s on the way as well, so we can always replace that. That's not it. I'm going to start to scratch my head again, figure out what's going on. But we'll put it in the cab, and fingers crossed and toes crossed it all works. So after last time when we replaced the little transistors which are over there, we still had the same problem. So next thing to do is replace the, whatever it is, IC501 501, which is a specific chip, which I can't see when I have a look at it once we get out of the bag. I also bought a socket from Maplins for it. Unfortunately, it's under this rusted piece of metal, which is soldered in for some unknown, strange reason that I don't know why. So I need to unsolder that bit first. So I'm going to go to the soldering iron, and I'm going to take that off, and we'll see what's what. Okay, we've got our little fats here. Quite rusty. I might give it a little clean. It's actually soldered in. There's two little sort of tabs for some reason, don't know why. So yeah, that's what we need to remove, and I've got a little socket. So let me just open the bag up. Okay, so I'm hoping this is the same. It's 2F4, but it's the same chip, HA11244. As you can see there, there's that one there. So I've also got this little socket. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. This is going to be a bit difficult to actually remove this one, but remove this one, and then we're going to put the socket in, and then put this in the socket. So let's see. Okay, managed to get this out in pretty much one piece. There's a slightly bent pin, but it's not too bad. I got a pretty good technique going on here to get. Usually these small sort of holes are quite hard to get the solder out of, but I just basically soldered it from an angle with this vertical, which is quite handy, and basically came at an angle and just went. And that just sucked the solder off, so that's good. I'm just going to clean this up, and then I'm going to put my nice new socket in, and then we'll put our new chip in, and then we'll have a look and see if that's made any difference. Again, I have no idea. I'm just shotgunning this, so piece by piece, just trying it out, see if it fixes the problem. We shall see. Okay, socket's in. Cat trying to get into the carriage. It's not bad soldering job. It's alright. I've checked all the. Make sure there's no. You can't command Guinness. That's the cat. Make sure there's no sort of points touching. Sorry about showing you can't. It's easier. This way. Oops. Not that off. There we are, sockets in nicely. So all we need to do is put our chip in. So I'm going to do that now. That's the chip in there, seated in quite nicely. So I don't know if I can bother to clean this at the moment, because we're going to hope, well, eventually maybe I'll clean the whole thing. But we're just going to stick this back on. I think it goes that way, something like that. Go top like that. I'll put that back in, and I'll put it back in the cab, and it'll probably be the same, but we'll see. Okay, I've got it switched on but not plugged in, so let's do that. No, I still have roll. So I don't know what to do now. Okay, so after trying to replace the transistors, the sync chip, I got the B plus dead on 120. Other things that I do, a couple of things I can't remember off the top of my head. Tried all of them. Spoke to the guys on the UK VAC, and Gunblade. Grant, also known as Gunblade, suggested that I send it to someone, and as he does monitor repairs, I spoke to him, and he was quite happy to have a look at it, and he said that basically one of the resistors was blown in the sync circuit. Also the capacitors were on the last leg, so all the capacitors are done, so I'll have a look at it now. So first I'm going to put up a picture. Let me look at it first. And we'll get a picture of it before and after, because apparently it was nice and clean, because it was absolutely filthy dirty when I sent it across. 30 years of grime and dirt and horrible stuff. So let me get it open and we'll have. Okay, got it out of the box. I thought it'd be a good idea to do it off camera, because a load of sort of packing peanut things in there. I don't want to go everywhere. So good thing about sending this stuff off to these guys, I have all the good packaging and stuff, so they got the proper anti-stack packaging. Some of this might be mine actually, because from my pole position, but let's undo this. So I'm going to show a picture of what it looked like before, right now, while I'm unpacking this, and what it looks like now. And as you can see, look at that. He did a brilliant job on it, and it looks so clean, and so it looks like almost brand new, I would say. Let's get in on the old shaky cam and have a look. So yeah, I've got the picture up from before. I mean, look at that, it's just night and day. So the servicing charge for this was hard, like it was fairly reasonable. You know, I wouldn't, the service charge alone, it charged me, you know, to get it repaired, to get all the caps done and get it cleaned. I'd happily pay that just for that, but he's also fixed it as well. So thank you very much, Grant. So yeah, definitely recommend him, Gunblade. I think he's on quite a few forums. I spoke to one UK back. So let me get this all unhooked as well and all undone, and we'll get it in the cab and have a look. So we've got the repaired chassis back in. Obviously we had an issue last time. Took it out, put it back in again, and this is what happened. Okay, so a lot of jiggery pokery. Haven't done this for a while. I managed to get the all the cables back in, I think. Now it might not sync straight away because Grant's been trying it on different boards, so it may not be set up to work with this one. So let's switch it on. Okay, it's making a noise. That's not a good noise. So that we haven't plugged this in yet, have we? Let's plug these in a second. So yeah, from what I can tell, that it's arching up here, arcing even arching. Like if we can get in here, if we can have a look. I don't think there's any. I've just charged it. There's no sort of the insulation paint at all. It's just glass. So I think that's what the problem is. Now I've got some stuff that will hopefully do the same job. So let's go have a look at that. So this is stuff here. I got this from Amazon UK. Super Corona dough. I think it's like 10 quid or something. I can't remember. This is the proper stuff apparently. It's not going to be red. It's going to be like a yellow colour, but that doesn't matter. You can see the high voltage. Useful for high voltage applications and stops arcing and stuff. So I think we need to apply this in sort of layers. So I'll go away, apply the first layer, we'll come back and we'll have okay, I've got my mask on, so probably a bit muffled, but I've managed to, you probably can't see it because it's like a see-through. I don't paint it on that great, but did a few layers of it. It goes quite sticky once it hits the air, so you haven't got much time to sort of apply it, but that's all on there now. So I'm going to leave that for overnight, I think. Oh, it's quite, I thought with mask on, it's quite smelly stuff. So I'm going to leave that overnight and then we'll come back and do the next layer. Okay, so I've got this layer on that we looked at yesterday. I left it overnight. I'm going to try it with just the one layer on, and then if it's still causing an issue, then we'll come back and put another layer on, and then maybe have to get some silicone grease or something as well, so we shall see. Okay, so just got the chassis back. Just pulled the monitor out of the old pole position here. Got it on the little bench here. I can't seem. This may have been the original issue. I don't know, but that's as far as that will go. I don't know if it's because there's what looks like a plastic insert at the back. I don't know if that. It looks like a little slot there. Perhaps you can remove that. I don't know if you look. If I look into. Where is it? Let's see. The hole there. Perhaps does this feed through on some of them? It's quite long, perhaps. All the pins seem to line. It doesn't get as far as that. So like I say, it won't. The pins are all going in, but that's as far. It won't go any further. You can hear it. That's it. It's hitting the plastic at the back. Okay, so it sounds like I've got a slightly strange tube on this monitor. So when we were looking at the new chassis that came along, it wouldn't go in. Maybe you'll see the neck glow there. Probably not with the light on. You can see I've drilled out that plastic hole, and the neck of the tube goes all the way back and it's flush, so it looks like a design like that. So that plastic bit obviously is in there for different models, I don't know. So if we come round now, we have our game. So you can see we've got borders top and bottom, so I need to adjust that. I think I should be able to adjust. Check the B plus as well, because it's a new chassis, it might not be quite right. But always looking good. So let me set the tripod up and we'll try again. As you may notice as well, I've got the bezel off and the cardboard shroud obviously, because I had to I took the monitor out and drilled that hole and stuff. In the end, obviously I didn't need to take the whole thing out, but it's worth checking everything. There's not much room in here as usual, but there are a couple of issues still. We'll see in a second. So, right. So the first issue is the fact that I'm missing a chip 52XX, which is the sound synthesis chip. So annoyingly, I don't have that. So when it says prepare to qualify, it doesn't actually say it, but everything else works. So I'm on the hunt for one of those. So you can see all the sound and everything still works. So that would say prepare to qualify, but at least it's working. So right works, left doesn't, barely works. If I spin it, see it doesn't go. So right works. So it will go if I spin it enough. You can see that it says centipede there, which is it's not a common rum set, I don't think. It's the Irish one, that as well. I'm trying to go left. It will not go left, as you can see. But sometimes it does. It's slowly doing it. You can see it slowly moving across, not that much. So as long as I go right, there we go again. So it could be the optos. There's optical switches that work a bit like an old mouse, and could be one of those. There's two, I think, one for left, one for right. And it could be that with all the dust in this place, yeah, there might be an issue with that. So might just have to get it clean. You can see as well, I've got top scores on here. When I got this board fixed, he put a high score saving kit on it, so that's good. So eventually when I get around to get this fixed, we'll wipe all the scores and we'll start from scratch. I mean, that's a pretty good score. I don't know if he was just, if that's him playing it or not, I don't know. Doesn't seem to be doing anything, or I don't know if I need to just coin up again. If it's frozen. I do have a bit of an issue with the edge connector. It comes up with the RAM 8 error when I turn it on. If I wiggle it, it sorts it out. So if I try and coin up now, so it's not doing anything. I don't know if that's I've done something. If it's just crashed. If we reset it, RAM 8 error now. Yeah, there we go. So if I wiggle this, sometimes it gets it out of that problem. Not quite. Not sure where the problem is at the moment, but so we've got many issues. As you can see, this is one of them. I might just give the edge connector another clean. So it does work, but we've got loads of issues. So once all the technical issues are out of the way, we can start looking at the rust and all that sort of stuff. But it's sort of working now. It works sometimes, and you know, obviously the steering doesn't work, but we'll have to give everything a clean, see if we can get that working. So once we have a look at the steering, we'll come back. Inside the cab now, and last time we left it, we had a RAM 8 error, and then I turned it off, turned it on again, still had the same thing. But when I wiggled one of these wires here, it booted the game. So I think I've got an issue along here somewhere, probably this area. Something's not quite right, so that's not an issue at the moment. Hopefully it's just a loose connection. Here's our steering assembly. So if I spin that, I've got to be careful because the one that's still up there and not been discharged, and I'll bang my head against it. You can hear it spinning. It's got, that sounds like it's got sand or something in it. It's probably been near the beach, I don't know. But yeah, obviously this spins that, which spins a little cog in there. And here's the encoder, a bit like on, like I say, an old mouse. So it's a bit bent, it's not too bad. What I'm going to try and do is take this bit off. Here's the PCB that reads it. Then this then feeds down through here and back through to the board. So when I've taken a close picture of it. There's a lot of dust on it, probably where it's just been sat for years. So we'll try and clean the optos, put it back in, see if that makes a difference. It could be there's a loose wire again somewhere here, along here. So let's get this out first. I've just realised these AR2s get quite warm. I thought I could smell like a warm dust smell. Obviously these are, because I left the back off when I've been doing the Pac-Man machine, there's quite a bit of dust in here, so I could do with cleaning this wire as well at some point soon. You can see all the dust on that cap there. So let's get that bit out first, and we'll see. Okay, so I've got the opto board out, as I think they're called. And you can see what happens, I think, from my understanding, is there's a LED, infrared LED in both of these, and then there's a receiver both sides, I think. And obviously, when the metal wheel goes around, there's holes in it. That LED will pulse through. Obviously, the faster the pulse, the more the wheel turns, I suppose, or the wheel is turning, therefore the game knows it's going faster. Now, I don't know if it's scratched now, if it's just dust. Probably see. So I'm going to give that a clean out. That might be gone, I don't know, but what we'll do is we'll clean it out first. The issue I had trying to get this out of the screws, it's a little bit chewed up, not too bad, but I had to get some WD-40 on it for it to budge. That was a bit better. So I'm going to give this a clean, put it back in and see if we get any difference. Okay, I used some electrical solvent cleaner and a few sort of little earbud things, we call them over here in the UK. These things here, in fact you can see, just put it in the little black opto receiver and transmitter. You can see the dirt came off it. Good, little try already. Oh, also I keep getting this RAM error. I think I figured out what's the issue. There's separate power connectors on the Namco board rather than the Atari board, and wiggling that seems to do it every time. So it's obviously 5 volts or something. So should now be able to go left and right. Yeah, there we go. Now I don't know if I'm going fast enough. The pots obviously need to be checked on the steering, but I am useless at this game, so don't expect any records, seeing as I only played this probably 30 years ago. So it's the first proper test for me, because I did test it just now, but I didn't have the actual connector into the steering wheel, so it didn't work, so then I connected it halfway through. So this is the first time. I've not qualified on this machine before. Not doing too bad. That's not too bad. So obviously you get the thing saying you qualify for the race and stuff. I don't have that chip, so I'll put it low. So qualify third, I think. Shouldn't be too bad for the first run. So yeah, I seem to go quicker than slower. I wonder if I think I've got maybe an issue with the pot. Sometimes doesn't seem to be going very fast. I don't know if that's going to turn the corner. I don't know. I don't know much about this game, to be honest. Normally I have to slow down there, but I have my foot on the floor, I think. Not going particularly fast. I'm being quiet now because I'm concentrating. This is fun. This is the first time I've actually got to play it properly, so. Ugh. I think it gets harder as it goes on, doesn't it? So. It's hard. I've also got the camera, not an excuse. Damn. Of course, I've got the camera sort of in my shoulder, so I'm trying not to knock it down by steering into it, as it were. Yeah, slip through there. I'm gonna run out of time. Not bad. But yes, it's working. I need to make the screen bigger. There's a vertical adjustment I need to do. There's a horizontal width core that I need to do. It's actually quite small, so I wonder if the B plus is a bit low. Because I don't know if the horizontal width adjustment is going to make that wide, but we'll see. It's a completely different chassis from the monitor, so it needs a lot of adjustment, to be honest. But we got it. It's working at last. So happy with that. So the next thing is the adjustment. I've actually got some adjustment tools coming through the post for eBay, so I don't really want to go messing around in there with some metal screwdrivers and stuff. The monitor's a little bit, I can hear it a little bit noisy, but it's not too bad. And to be honest, it's getting better as it's. I mean, it's not. I mean, this chassis may not have been used for a little while, and the tube hasn't been used for a while, so I don't know if that makes a difference. But the screen, other than the size at the moment, looks pretty good. There's a slight bit of burning. You can't really see it when the game's on, but there's a game over burning, obviously, because it's the original monitor. But yes, it's all good now. So onwards and upwards, hopefully no more issues. But it is a pole position, so it probably will cause me problems. You can hear the steering wheel. It's still got sand in it by the sounds of it. Probably little bits of rust as well in it, but there we go. So next time I think, yeah, we'll adjust the monitor. So I'm almost 100% convinced it's one of these two. These are the power connectors. So on the Atari one, you have the power connectors actually there on a edge connector on the side, but on the Namco version, you've got the two. These are sort of data and video. I can't remember which one's which. And then the power's out onto these two connectors here. Now, one of them's the ground. Plastic sort of starting to burn up, or has in the past. Now, I've done the AR2 mod, so we shouldn't get too much voltage going through these in the end. But I think what I need to do is replace these, so because they're quite flaky, so I can sort of move them around at boots. So I need to find some of these connectors and then repin that. So at least I don't have to repin this bloody thing. I can just these 3 or 6 connections. So it's not too bad. Yeah, we're gonna figure out how to do. There's a vertical size and there's a coil in there somewhere. You see it at the back, just there. So maybe the B plus is slightly low as well. We check that. That's that white resistor you can check across there. So yeah, we'll come back when we're doing that.